Thanks so much for being with us here on ANF Plus. I'm Joy Lim-Nakrin. So I want to let you know we are watching this situation here at the hospital. You know, we're waiting for an update now. At any moment, we're going to get a live report from our Sarah Hammond, because we've learned that a carbon monoxide leak has led to 5 people being taken to the hospital after this leak at a hotel in downtown Atlanta. And it involves the Residence Inn. But we're going to actually, you can see our Sarah Hammond just preparing for a live report, and we're going to go to her when she's ready. For right now, let me just turn to some of the other stories that we're following and just give her a moment to kind of, you know, get herself together for a live report, a live update on the latest there. But, you know, we continue to follow new developments after the Bourbon Street attack in New Orleans. And for the first time since that deadly terrorist attack, that famous tourist destination is back open once again to pedestrians, got heavy barricades in place, and authorities now say the man who rammed a truck through crowds celebrating the New Year early Wednesday acted alone. 14 families are grieving the loss of lives cut tragically short. And this morning we're also hearing from the family of a UGA student who was injured in that attack. The family tells us the 19-year-old is still in the hospital, but thankfully is alert. And a little bit earlier, Sarah Hammond put together a report on how she's doing.
According to Elle Eisel's grandparents who live in Carrollton, they say she is alert, awake, and talking. She was taken to the hospital with critical injuries after that attack on Bourbon Street. Donna and Jean Duke say their granddaughter told them it happened so fast she doesn't remember what happened. They say she has a lot of facial lacerations, a broken nose, broken ribs, and a punctured liver. Donna says the medical care has been excellent, and her granddaughter hopes to become a doctor herself one day and help others. She is on the pre-med track at the University of Georgia. And UGA's Phi Mu sorority posted a statement saying they are looking forward to welcoming their sister back to Athens when she recovers.
She said that it's going to be a long road to recovery. She's taking it one day at a time. I don't know how long she'll be in the hospital, though.
In a statement from Eisel's high school on behalf of her parents, they say they are so grateful for the outpouring of support, and they thank the first responders who worked quickly to save their daughter's life following what the FBI is calling a terrorist attack. At FBI headquarters in Atlanta, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
Okay, so we showed you, Sarah, we were just showing another report from you, unrelated topic, but now you're covering what's happened with this carbon monoxide leak, and a hotel had to be evacuated. What can you tell us?
So we're here.
According to Elle Eisel's grandparents who live in Carrollton, they say she is alert, awake, and talking. She was
Okay, so that sounds positive that you are, sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you, but you said that a victim was alert, awake, and talking. Still a very active scene behind you. So what is happening?
So yeah, we're down here at the Residence Inn in downtown Atlanta, where there is quite obviously a large scene of Atlanta fire behind us. But take a look. We just heard from Assistant Fire Chief Greg Gray, who says this started at about 8:40 this morning. They had about 20 units that responded here for a carbon monoxide leak. They say there's about 160 rooms at this hotel. 100 of them were occupied, and he says they were able to evacuate the entire building within the hour that they arrived. But he says that there are 5 people who were taken to the hospital, 3 of them adults, 2 children. He says he believes that one of them was unconscious when they went to the hospital, but as of right now, they're not sure the extent of how they're doing at this point. It's also it's very cold out here, so they had, as they do when they have big responses like this, when it gets cold, they have MARTA buses come out here and respond, so people who evacuated could come down, have somewhere to get warm. But he says as of now, everybody, had access to their cars or walked somewhere else to get warm while they figure this out. They say right now they have everything turned off in the building, and so they are working through. They're still investigating the source, the cause of this carbon monoxide leak. So they say they will be here for the foreseeable future.
All right, Sarah Hammond with that live report from Peachtree Street Northwest. Of course, we're going to keep following the latest developments there. In the meantime, let's talk about the increased safety surrounding the remembrance events for former President Jimmy Carter. And that's in light of the New Orleans terror attack and also the attack in Las Vegas. So officials, of course, want to keep Georgians safe. The state funeral for the 39th president begins tomorrow. Services scheduled in Carter's hometown of Plains, as well as here in Atlanta, at the state capitol and the Carter Center. Roads already closing down by the Carter Center, East John Lewis Freedom Parkway and North Highland Avenue closed. The parking lot's been blocked off, and Carter Center staff says that is so that Secret Service can make sure that everything is secure and safe. Atlanta News First Madeline Montgomery has more.
We can come together as a people and mourn a great man.
The final farewell to Jimmy Carter has already brought dozens of people to this makeshift memorial outside of the Carter Center. But his official send-off that starts this weekend, a procession from Plains to Atlanta.
We expect large crowds.
Those crowds watched by a security detail made up by a number of law enforcement entities. Fulton County Sheriff's Office is assisting the Atlanta Police Department to help increase police presence. APD said they want to be visible following the attack in New Orleans. We spoke with former Atlanta Police Chief Rodney Bryant about the incident.
We'll take a look at what happened in New Orleans and see how they could fill in those gaps to make sure that we don't have those type incidents here.
The Georgia State Patrol will help with escorting the late president and his family from Plains to Atlanta. They'll also be protecting the Capitol, where the convoy will pause for a moment of silence. The Sumter County Sheriff's Office, which is where Plains is located, put out this statement. Be mindful and respectful to others and to others' property. Please also know that during this time, the Sumter County Sheriff's Office will be adding additional personnel to assist the Plains Police Department. All of the security will be led by the Secret Service and Military Joint Task Force.
Military takes it very serious, of course, because it's a no-fail mission. Probably embodies maybe 600-700 people.
Madeline Montgomery, Atlanta News First.
We can come together as a people and mourn.
And MART is going to make it easier if you are looking to say your final farewell to former President Carter. The transit agency says it's going to provide free direct bus service from the King Memorial Rail Station to the Carter Center, and rail service to the station will operate nonstop for 60 hours. From there, the free shuttles are going to depart to the Carter Center every 3 to 5 minutes, all day, all night, starting 6 p.m. Saturday. And former President Carter's body will lie in repose from Saturday until Tuesday at 6 a.m. May he rest in peace. And obviously people from all around the world will be coming to remember him. Let's turn now to look at this forecast. First Alert meteorologist Rodney Harris joining us now. And it's beautiful out there. It's cold. It's about to get colder. And that's not all.
That is absolutely correct, Joy. So here's what you can expect kind of in a nutshell over the next several days. Today is another pretty decent day. I mean, you can see that on the right-hand side of your screen there. Very nice weather across North Georgia. Mostly sunny today, completely sunny later on this afternoon. We still have a few clouds out there right now. Do want to remind everybody we're tracking some First Alert weather days. They'll start on Sunday, continue through basically the rest of next week. So that'll be most of this forecast. But I do want to start by letting you know about what you can expect today. So let's start with our temperatures out there. Throughout the course of the afternoon and evening, it'll stay cold. Our highs are only in the 50s later on today. That's very similar to what we saw yesterday. Yesterday's high was 54 degrees, so we'll be right out there around 55 today. So that's what you can expect in terms of that high temperature. It usually happens right around 3 to 4 o'clock, so that'll be the warmest part of your day. And then as we get you into the 6 o'clock time frame, we're down to 46 degrees, 9 o'clock 39 degrees, and at midnight 36 for those of you who are going to be out super late. Something I do want to point out about the forecast today, the temperatures will be similar, but yesterday we didn't have to deal with any wind. That won't be the case today. Today the winds will increase to 15, 20 miles per hour out of the northwest, gusting up to 30, so there will be a breeze in the air. Not enough for a wind advisory, but that is something you'll notice if you'll be out and about this afternoon and evening. There will definitely be a bite in the air, so keep that in mind if you have any plans. Otherwise, sunny skies, and that forecast very similar to yesterday. Here's a look at those highs. 55 today again in Atlanta. The normal for this time of year is 54, so we're right around average today. today. That blue that you see further north, those are the 40s. So if you are in the higher elevations of the mountains, you're not getting out of the 40s today. 44 in LJ, 47 in Helen, and even in Canton, you're up to 48 degrees later on this afternoon. So chilly out there across all of North Georgia. Here's that 7-day forecast. I want to take this full because I want to really walk you through this 7-day. There's a lot happening. 55 today. Sunny skies. Saturday, we're going to start at 29 degrees in Atlanta. That means the mid-20s in the suburbs. 46 for Saturday afternoon and completely sunny. For Sunday, 32, and then 48 for Sunday afternoon. So Sunday, we will start dry, and then we will gradually see showers increase throughout the day on Sunday, really more throughout Sunday evening. And then we'll get some heavier rain very early on Monday morning, and then that rain moves out for Monday afternoon, but that's replaced by much colder temperatures on Monday, and then that will be the story for the rest of next week. So the first alert is from Sunday through Tuesday. Sunday evening, we'll see scattered showers, and then that Arctic air moving in Monday. And there is still the potential, at least, for a bit of wintry weather in the higher elevations of the mountains on Monday. Here is our updated high-resolution forecast model. I say updated because we just got some new data, a little bit more high resolution. So Sunday morning, dry and cloudy, and then getting it to Sunday afternoon after 4 p.m., we'll start to see some showers out there, so watch out for that. Now, the coverage is only at 40%, so it won't be a washout, but there will be spotty showers from 4 p.m. and later throughout North Georgia. So if you're going to be out and about watching some football, or whatever you're doing Sunday afternoon and evening, especially in the evening, you'll be dodging some showers and not that big of a deal. But then as our cold front starts to move in from the northwest, you can see that rain picks up early on Monday morning. That went by a little fast, but overnight Monday is when the rain will start to increase. And at 4 o'clock on Monday morning, I'm showing some pockets of heavy rain in North Georgia and metro Atlanta that'll continue at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock on Monday morning. So the first part of your commute on Monday, you will see rain out there. And then by about 7 or 8, notice how that rain is east of metro Atlanta. So we're going to have to watch this for you carefully because I know your commute is important as most of you get back to work on Monday. Right now, before 7, we're forecasting that rain. After 7, we're forecasting it to be mostly dry. And then for metro Atlanta, it'll stay dry for the rest of the day. But I do want to point out that if you are in the mountains on Monday afternoon, there will still be some leftover moisture that may mix with that colder air to produce a brief wintry mix for you in the higher elevations. That will be Monday afternoon in the mountains, not including metro Atlanta. So story number 2 for Monday will be the temperatures. And as you can see, this is your hour-by-hour temperature forecast for Monday, and it's backwards. It's supposed to go up, but it's going down because of that cold front that's moving in. So in the morning, we'll be in the 50s, but then notice by lunchtime, we're down to 41 degrees to 30s in the afternoon. So temperatures are dropping Monday instead of rising with a gusty wind. So even after the rain moves out on Monday, it's not going to be the greatest day, which is why it's also a first alert because those temperatures will definitely not feel pleasant throughout your day on Monday. So here's what you can expect. If you're in the North Georgia mountains, Sunday through Tuesday, I'm talking to you specifically in the mountains. You'll see rain, you'll see Arctic air, and you may see a wintry mix Monday afternoon. That's possible, not guaranteed. If you're in metro Atlanta, you'll see rain, you'll see Arctic air, and I'm not forecasting any winter weather for metro Atlanta, at least not for this particular event. Now, as we go back to the 7-day forecast, 2 things I want to tell you. We've talked about Monday. The hard freeze will start on Tuesday, so I want to point this out because it's already cold, but by Tuesday that low will drop to 26. Anything below 28 is considered a hard freeze, so we'll drop below 28 on Tuesday morning. That's in Atlanta. So like the low to mid-20s not out of the question in the suburbs on Tuesday morning, only up to 39 Tuesday afternoon, and basically the same forecast for Wednesday, even colder on Thursday. At the same time, we're seeing the low 20s in metro Atlanta Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings. The mountains, you may drop into the teens. So very cold air next week. Again, I know it's cold now, but super cold next week. And the second thing I want to point out, and we haven't talked a lot about this on television, but I do want to point out that we are looking at the end of next week for what may be another weaker storm system that'll move in. We have no idea what the extent of that will be, but I do want to point out that beyond the 7-day forecast, the end of next week, like going into next weekend, there may be another shot of wintry weather. Can't really go into too much detail, but we just want to put that out there. That is possible. So we may be looking at 2 completely different events in terms of precipitation. We know we'll see rain on Monday and maybe a wintry mix in the mountains on Monday. That's event number 1. And then event number 2 may happen at the end of the week with the potential for more wintry weather. It's just too far ahead to really be able to tell you for sure, but that is something that we're going to be watching beyond the 7-day forecast. So definitely stay tuned. A lot going on here over the next 7 days. The biggest thing you should know is it's going to get cold. Make sure and be prepared for that as you get back to work and get the kiddos back to school next week. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez will have an updated forecast for you on Atlanta News First at noon. Of course, you can always get your forecast and the First Alert weather app. We hope you have an amazing Friday, an amazing weekend, and until next time, we'll see you soon.